19 horsepower tractor moves a 20-foot shipping container with ease. So you may have seen our YouTube shorts where we started putting this carport area together. Basically our gravel where we had it originally poured only came up to, well, probably about like right here, just that and over where I had that shack originally beforehand. So we wanted to put a carport in here. So we laid down tarp, we poured this gravel out. I was trying to think of how to level from side to side. I raised that side with gravel, but this side was gonna need a lot of material in order to raise it up. So I ended up putting a line of blocks here. So I originally was going with Allen's Factory Outlet. They're one of the companies that can actually come out and put up your metal building for you, whether that be a carport or metal building. I contacted them, got a quote, actually put the down payment for it. Then I asked them a couple questions after reading the contract saying, I don't know if my building site's gonna work for you or not. And sure enough, it wasn't going to. One of the issues was that all these blocks here were not filled with cement originally. I just had it down here. I figured they would just put the metal building on and then strap it down with mobile homemakers, but they said that's not how they did it. They needed something with actual concrete in it. But at the time I'm like, I don't want to do that. I feel like that's just extra work. One of the other problems is that the shipping container was too close to the edge of the carport. They said they needed 3 feet of space all the way around the building in order to do it. Obviously, most of the place you had 3 feet, but this one corner backs into where I had the corner of the carport. Due to property lines and everything else, we couldn't shove this over any further back, so I had to move the shipping container. I didn't want to do that, so I contacted another company. They gave me a quote, but the quote they gave me was about $1,000 more, and it didn't seem as nice as the Allen Factory building, but they also wanted this filled in with concrete. So I went ahead and started filling this in with concrete. As you can see here, that part is done. I padded the wall over here with a lot more gravel so you can fit a ladder over here and put up the building. I might still need to put a little bit more over here. They said they would actually work around this corner, but they were $1,000 more. And we like saving money where we can. Deanna and I started talking about it. If we can just move the shipping container over, we already marked the one checkbox that Allen Factory Outlet said they needed. The other one would be moving the shipping container over so they'd have the 3 foot of spacing. So that leads us into what we're going to be doing today. I'll just give you a general idea what I plan on doing here. I'm going to leave the front corner intact up there. Going to jack up each side, move these blocks out of the way. I have a couple round posts that I plan on sticking underneath the shipping container, and I'm hoping I can shove the shipping container over, kind of roll it on those posts. That is the idea, the plan. The tractor that I had, the 19 horsepower tractor, might not be big enough or strong enough to push it. So my secondary plan is actually, we have a winch on our UTV. So I was thinking about parking the UTV up here, hooking it onto that corner, pulling it with the UTV as I'm pushing with the tractor, and hopefully that'd be enough, because fortunately with our blueberries and our fencing here, I'd have to take that whole fence and everything down if I wanted to be able to use the truck to pull it. But yeah, first step is moving all this junk out of the way. All right, so that took a while, but got most of the stuff out of the shipping container. I don't think that's gonna have enough weight to cause any issues. I think the next step is I built a little ramp here with some gravel, so I'm gonna have to cut some of this gravel back. That way, when I start shoving the shipping container in that corner over there, this doesn't hold it in place or shove it off those blocks that it's on currently. Hopefully it'll just shift over. I might have to raise this up and put it on a block too, but got some extra blocks just in case some of them break or something. So the idea is for this corner to stay where it is. This is gonna have to come up about 2 feet. That's why I'm trying to clear this area. We're gonna be pushing this area back here, this corner, to over here to give them the 3 feet of spacing on the other side. Hope they're happy. All right, gravel's moved. So now there's nothing in its way as I'm moving this container around. So the first thing I'm gonna do is jack up this side. Take this block out and try to put those rollers underneath it. What I might do is, rather than just using the 2, I might actually cut those posts into 2 or even 3 parts. That way it just has more rollers going all the way across. That way it doesn't get a little tipsy on a center point somewhere. So now I need to get the chainsaw out and cut those up. Deanna just brought over the last little roller. These are not equally, they don't have the same diameter, so it might not be a perfect rolling system, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so I'm gonna start jacking up this side and just see how well it does. It's actually high enough. I'll see if it's big enough to get a round under there yet. A little bit more. Plus I'm gonna have to raise it up quite a bit to get the rounds over there. Or just, maybe I'll put 3 on one side and then jack up the other side and put the other 3 in. Gotta wait for that click sound. Also gotta make sure the shipping container doesn't fall on you. Seems like it's butting up against something under there. Apparently the middle supports are actually down a little bit lower than this end. And I just realized I actually jacked up both sides, so I can probably stick all the rollers under there right now. That makes it a little bit easier. It's interesting though, I wasn't expecting it to actually jack up both sides when I did that. So all that back shipping container weight is on the one jack right now. So apparently I only had to go down about 1 inch to land on that. So I just had to unjack once and it just went plop on top. So it's now completely on the rollers. So now I'll see if I can push with the tractor or if we need a little bit more horsepower. I'm guessing we'll probably need more horsepower, but we'll see what the little Mahindra can do. So one thing we knew that could happen is obviously the shifting, and we got those extra blocks, so if it starts sliding we can slide that onto another block. But we need to make sure it's nice and compact and level underneath it, otherwise we're going to have an unlevel shipping container. Alright, so we shoved it over a little bit more. I'm going to take one of these logs and stick it over there. We're getting pretty close to our goal though.
So this is actually going smoother than I think we thought it would. We've already gone like 2 feet, so we just need like another foot.
Not even a foot.
Maybe not even, yeah.
Just got to move it another like to here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just been careful that we don't shove it off this block. We put the other block in front of it, so it's just scooting from one block to the other block here. I might have to jack up each corner and re-level things, but yeah, little 19 horsepower Mahindra if you have the right leverage, and that
farm jack is super helpful.
Yeah, the farm jack has already paid for itself, so we'll be using that in many other projects, I'm sure. All right guys, just got to go the last couple inches here and hopefully it doesn't tip over. I don't think it will.
A little more. Just like a teensy bit. Okay, that's good.
The guy that delivered the shipping container wanted $400 to move it over 2 feet. I think I just got a new business idea and I learned to know how to move shipping containers. But it does help that this was already a level area because I worked really hard before they shipped it out here to get a fairly level surface. It might not be perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna put some blocks underneath this thing, set her down, and we'll go from there.
Actually looked pretty good. It seemed like they hit at about the same time.
So we're doing pretty good here. Front to back, side to side, we're pretty much level. There's a slight lean forward, but that way in case you get some sort of leak, the water drains out the front and doesn't get stuck in the back. So that's actually there by design. And the same thing on this side, obviously. Slight lean front to back, and pretty level side to side. Now we just gotta adjust those front blocks and we'll be done. And you might run into the situation where farm jack doesn't exactly fit under there, so gotta dig a little bit. If you're putting this on a concrete pad, obviously that'll be a little bit more difficult. Turn this jack position. I don't know if that's the proper terminology. Sideways, but with the other three supports it should be fine. We're going to jack it up one more time, just so a little bit more room. It is heavy. How's that looking?
From here it looks pretty good. Do you want to remove that block from the back?
Oh yeah, good job.
Because it looked like it was higher.
So one thing I've read online, or I should say, one thing I watched a YouTube guy say online is don't ever touch this with your skin in case it malfunctions. It could snap your finger, rip off your, I don't know what his terminology was, but just use your foot to tap that back down. And with these farm jacks, you guys probably already know if you're watching this channel, but if you don't, there's no weight on it right now, but once you push the weight on there, it's going to put all that shipping container weight on this lever. So you have to be prepared to absorb the energy once you make that flip. So like right, hear that sound? All the weight's on me now. So I just got to gently let it come up. It's not really hard to do with this 20 foot. I've seen some people struggle with the 40 foot. Hey, this time I stuck a piece of pallet wood underneath it just to disperse the weight a little bit more, because there is mud underneath it, so that board can splinter, do whatever it wants, and hopefully spread out that weight a bit more.
Uh-oh.
That's the problem on this side. I might have to kind of
yeah, can you do it that way?
I think I might be good.
Not quite.
Yeah. Well, don't buy property on a mountainside. Hey, you hear that click? All right. Oh, that thing just went on me. Be careful here. Definitely going into that mud, see?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gone down a lot.
Gotta definitely watch our fingers here. Ugh. Gonna go up one more so I can put a safety block on this. It just cracked right through that board.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a lot of weight.
It is, yeah.
So I don't really trust this jack as much now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the mud. Be a little more careful here. not be perfect, but something to fall on other than my hands. Right. Broken block removed. All right, I think that's pretty good. You're supposed to remind me, Deanna. Just kidding. All right.
You didn't have to this time.
Get guy down. There is advantage of having a hill sub like this. All my weight is just sitting on this bar right now. It's a little bit easier. And we're good. And we're still level from side to side. And a slight slant going forward. So yeah, it just shows with a little bit of ingenuity, aka research on YouTube before doing your project, and a little bit of leverage, you can get a lot of work done. That farmer jack, obviously I can't lift up a shipping container, but that did it with ease with that extra leverage it has on there. I was not pressuring the tractor. I didn't even have the tractor turned up all the way. It's this little 19 horsepower tractor, but if you get the right leverage and you have wheels or some sort of way to roll it over, I've seen some people just put flat boards sliding across. I just figure something rolling would be a little bit easier than that added friction on there. Just make sure you're cleared out in the front here so you don't have anything keeping your container from moving. Worked out pretty well. So with that, we saved 1,300 bucks. Farm jack was about 120 bucks. Well worth it though. Be able to do this ourselves, save 400 bucks for that. And now we're able to order the cheaper carport that's actually better. It has thicker gauge metal. It has overhangs on the side. I don't know, we'll show you once we get the carport. Yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos like it. You can also check us out at
dnsadventures.com.
Even though I haven't updated that in over a year.
I was just thinking that.
I might end up closing that website because it's not really as helpful. We'll see. Anyways, as always,
adventure on.